What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night on the East Coast. It is time for Proper Royals Live. Tonight, on that side. Tonight, we got Jeremy from WARFEL'S MORPHS with us. You're going to learn all about his channel, and we're going to talk about the first kind of year of breeding in YouTube. Jeremy and I are on a really similar path right now, and that's part of why I wanted to have him on the show. So stick around tonight, and as always, live Q&A and all things ball pythons. Who knows where we end up taking the show. Jeremy, I'm going to hit the music. You ready?
Let's get this done.
Let's do it. Jeremy, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, Adam. Thanks for having me tonight, brother.
It is my pleasure, man. I saw one of your videos, and I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it just felt incredibly honest, incredibly authentic. And then I got looking, and it was like I started catching the context clues. You know, you're newer to the YouTube game, just like myself, even though, I mean, we got a lot going on. We feel like we're not new. We've put the work in, but, neither of us, I don't think, have had that video that gets 1 million subscribers on, the first day. So we're working the system hard. And, I saw the video and I was like, man, this is just an honest dude that's down to earth. He's got his own room down there, and it comes across as kind of like like all of ours. Like, it's like the safe space, comfortable place to be with the snakes. And I was like, man, I'm going to get that guy on the show one day. And then you were, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, you were commenting and pretty active. I was like, man, he's watching. All right, this is cool. And that's when I was like, man, that's what I told you on air. I was like, I'm gonna get you on the show. So welcome. It's my pleasure to have you. Tell us about you. Tell us what you got going on, where you're from, whatever you want to tell us about your ball python world.
Well, like you said, this is my first year actually doing the breeding thing. I've actually kept the reptiles all my life. Started off with a normal ball python, like, oh, good grief, I don't even know, like years ago. I don't even want to think about how many years ago that was. Over 20. But
wow, okay.
I'm 34, so roughly, actually, it's probably even before that. It was probably like 8, 10, somewhere in there. So basically, like bumblebees, I think maybe we're just starting to hit.
Yeah.
Like they were unobtainable at that time, which was always one of my dream snakes when I saw them.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, but yeah, just had them. Had ball pythons. I had a green tree python at one point.
Yeah.
Had a red blood python, had a black blood python. I guess that's just about it. For all the snakes that I had back when I had started. And now I'm to where I'm just doing ball pythons and raising up 2 female carpet pythons.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I knew you had something just a little bit beyond ball pythons. So you got the 2 carpet pythons. And what's the plan on then? Get them mature and then buy a male kind of deal?
Yeah. The oldest one right now is about 2.5.
Okay.
So there's supposedly right around like 4 years is the magic age for them.
Gotcha.
So my plan is about next year sometime, I'll get a male for Xena, which is the one I do a lot of the videos with on how she's so feisty.
Okay.
So I'll get a male for her, and then I'm going to get the male that'll work also for the other jungle carpet as well. But she's only like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. So she's a little bit behind.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got a little time on those. And
yeah.
What, we'll spend most of the night on the ball pythons, but what size enclosures, what do you keep those jungle carpet pythons in?
Right now they're in 40-gallon just tanks.
Okay.
Eventually I'm going to move them up to like the PVCs, but I had 40-gallon tanks just laying around. So I thought, why not put them to use for a little bit?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Kind of buy me a little bit of time.
Do they do okay in tanks? Or they like ball pythons that I wouldn't say struggle in tanks, but it takes a lot more work in tanks for them?
Mine thrive.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm being hunted.
Like, okay, all right, they're ready for you, huh?
At the moment. So yeah, if anything, it actually probably helps them to an extent.
Okay.
So as their hatchlings, the more confined they are, the better.
Yeah.
Gives them that sense of security like a ball python. But now that Xena's probably, I don't know, like 5 feet roughly.
Okay.
And she's kind of lost all fear of anything. And now she's just, let's go.
Totally into it, huh? All right. Well, hey, before we get too far in, because I want to jump back to the ball pythons in just a minute, but let me catch up really quick on some business from last week. So first and foremost, I want to thank Paul from WARFEL'S Morphs. The dude got up at, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. He's from the UK, in New Forest in the south of UK. And we just had a really great show. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. I got to tell you, the metrics were off the chart. Like, my hours watched and likes and all that stuff was just killer that day. So thank you to everybody. But really why I go back to that show, and you can watch it at all these episodes get posted onto my channel. But one thing that Paul brought up last week, he asked if we could pick a random audience member that wanted to donate some money. He had $100 to contribute to a charity of that audience member's choice. And I said, you know what? I'll match it. We'll do 1 and 1. So we picked 2 charities. John at Inkleline won, and Stephen and Courtney at Leviathan Pythons. And I want to tell everybody, I have not made good on that yet. I've been out on the road playing music, which is my other side job outside of my real job, and that just ate up my week, and I have not had a chance to get to it. So I know I saw John, who is Inkleline, as his handle on here. John, I'll be in touch with you this week for contact information. I think Paul is probably asleep in UK right now, so I'll catch up with him. But he's going to contribute directly to one of the causes, and I'll contribute directly to the other. I haven't seen Stephen or Courtney pop up yet, but I will be in touch with them. So I wanted to say thanks to everybody. And then a real special thanks as well to any of Jeremy's followers from WARFEL'S Morphs. If you guys haven't checked out Jeremy's page, he's just under 500 subscribers, I think, right now. And
yeah, it's like 338, I think, something like that.
Okay, cool. So we got to get you, the first thing we got to do is get you above 500. At 500, you get the community post access, which is kind of like YouTube's Facebook social media platform. But the other thing I can do at 500 is tag you in the title. So like tonight, I couldn't put the at WARFEL'S Morphs in the title. So look, guys, we got 11 of you right now. And I know a couple of you looks like are from Jeremy's channel. So I really appreciate y'all coming over. I would love to subscribe and support and all of that as well. But I'd really love to see Jeremy get a pop tonight. So if you get a chance, check out WARFEL'S Morphs. So with that being said, give us some stats on what you got going on. What's in your kind of your breeder keeper collection, and what projects you enjoying working on?
Well, as far as like recessives go, my main focus is went and selected like 3 that I just absolutely love, and that was Exantic. I went with K line. Just I don't know why, but that line just kind of everyone I saw, like the blacks and the whites, like they just kind of had like the best contrast to my eyes. Now, I'll granted, I'm partially colorblind, so it's all about contrast sometimes.
Right.
I went with the Exantic Clown. Like everybody loves Clown. I mean, let's face it. And then Desert Ghost, which thankfully, when I got my Desert Ghost mail, that was before Justin.
I was going to say
how great Desert Ghost was, so I didn't pay top dollar at the time.
You timed that one, man. That was, you know, I got to admit, I'm not crazy in love with Desert Ghost, but I'm also probably a little bit put off because of how tough it is to get into right now. Man, I could buy who knows how many pieds or candy as like that's my like play right now. I'm loving candy. So I think I've gotten a little bit biased, but good for you being ahead of it, man. Like that's when you just like, that's when you hit. Like that's one of those that you pick up and then your buddy's like, this stock's going to blow up. And it, you know, it's really great.
It's one of those things where you kind of get it and you hope that like people like Justin or somebody says, "Hey, this is the next big thing," and then it's like,
Right.
"Yes, thank you."
I don't know if you know Mark at 403 Fauna. He's doing a lot with both of those projects as well, and a completely cool dude too. So,
so I'm actually following him, yeah, and
okay,
subscribe. So I do need to watch more of his stuff though. Everything kind of always seems like I'm always run.
I know how it is, man. I even now I put more videos into my watch later file than I actually do have time to actually watch them, but I live in Jacksonville, Florida, so Sundays are not that exciting for me when everybody else has a decent football team. So I get to catch up on my YouTube when the Jags are just eating it. Man, they're terrible right now. So what were some of your favorite pairings this year, favorite hatchling results? What'd you get cooking this year?
Oh, all right. I know Spider Gene gets a whole bunch of bad rap, and that being said, I absolutely love it. And my favorite that I produced this year would have to be my Orange Dream Bumblebee. That's Possible Fire.
Okay.
That guy is just absolutely out of this world, in my opinion. I mean, he's like, I don't even know how to describe it. He just glows. I mean, he's just absolutely fantastic. Nailed him. That was a big, one of my dream snakes to hit. I wanted to hit a female though, and I got a male.
So hang on, you hit the male Orange Dream Bumblebee Possible Fire, or that was one of the pairings, one of the parents?
Yeah, no, that was one of the hatchlings that I got.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right.
The pairing for that was an Orange Dream, what we thought Orange Dream Fire Possible Yellow Belly, which proved out to be Orange Dream Yellow Belly, and now we're questioning the fire.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he was paired to my Killer Bee.
Okay, cool.
So that whole clutch, I mean, everything was pastel.
Right.
We hit the Orange Dream Bumblebee, like I said. Orange Dream, or we hit a pastel Yellow Belly, which I still think has Orange Dream in it, but that's to be, we're going to prove that one out.
Yeah. So let's take a step back for just a minute because everybody's at different stages along the way. So Bumblebee is pastel spider, right?
Yep.
And then a Killer Bee would be super pastel spider.
Correct.
And super pastel will mean anything that you breed it to will be at least pastel because you got basically allelic or acts like a super because it is a super coming off of there. So for anybody that missed our lingo that we were bouncing, I remember watching videos when I first started, I was like, I don't know what any of this means. And like, even still there's nicknames. One thing I don't like as much I adore Justin, of course, Kaboka's the king, fine. He nicknames everything, and I can't keep up with the damn nickname. Like and it's like,
yep,
okay, and maybe I just need to start nicknaming mine and just act like maybe that's the ticket is like acting like you can, So anyhow,
such catchy names though. I mean, like the Batman. Now he's got the Red Hood, I think it is.
Yeah, he just unveiled it the other day.
It's the same thing as the Batman, but I think it's got redhead in it on top.
Yes.
Of it.
Yeah, or super, maybe super. But yeah, but I'm just like, but he's a marketing genius. I mean, his animals, of course, are top notch. But if you look at his production videos, I mean, maybe only Miguel is up there with him on production. Those guys are just far and away. Brian's production is pretty solid. Yeah. So I mean, those guys are killing it, and Billy's content is phenomenal, but he doesn't do a whole lot of production stuff. I mean, that's just all Billy and the guys. That's all charisma from those guys.
And then their Patreon's even amazing because I'm on Billy's Patreon, and I've learned an awful lot through that.
Man, I want to talk about that later in the show once we get there and we get a little catch up time. So, all right. So, and you know what, too, and it wasn't last week. I don't think it was 2 weeks ago. The topic of spiders came up, and I don't know if I came across wrong or what. Somebody made a comment on one of the videos, and it wasn't mean, but it was almost like, and I was like, I don't think I conveyed my thoughts properly. They're not what I choose to breed
Yeah.
And that really is the beginning and end of it. I don't choose to breed desert ghosts either. It's not that I have anything against spiders. For me, it doesn't make sense financially, and they don't click with me. And clearly, spiders click with other people like yourself. And vodka clicks with a lot of people, and I don't care for any vodka. So, but
vodka is not my friend.
yeah, but there was, and I think that, and they've commented in many other places as well. So actually, I think that they're decent people. But there was this real basically it was like, hey, it's a living snake, stop being a jerk. And I was like, I didn't mean it that way. If that's how I came across, I did not mean it that way. They're not for me, and not the I only have a limited number of slots in my room and in my racks, and I opt for other things is what I'm saying. But I think you convey it great. If they speak to you and you care for them and you're comfortable and confident in raising them, then by all means. That was not my point. That's a whole different ball game from a super cinnamon or a super black pastel. I think that's a different world for me.
Well, there's so many other genes that have slight issues here and there, and it's just, it's what you want to work with, like you said, and are you willing to take that risk of, having an issue pop up, and if it does, are you ready to do what needs to be done if it does arise?
Right, and we were talking offline earlier, and I thought that it was just a great example where we're both talking about we have just one stubborn hatchling left that, a lot of people might have said, I'm done dealing with you. I'm going to euthanize you or take you out because you're not going to succeed. No, it's not up my alley. I'm not saying that maybe isn't what would happen on the long run. I don't know, but I'm going to keep assist feeding this thing and keep trying to get it, alive in this world. So, so we're working on it. Hey, Spath, thank you so much for the backdrop. That is that's a painting my uncle did. I actually grew up with that picture around the house, and that frame is a window frame from my uncle's old house. And when I sold my house in North Carolina, I sold it furnished, and I forgot that picture in it. And I just got that picture back right before closing. That picture just traveled 500 miles. So, and then otherwise, I use this little Amazon. There's sort of what it normally looks like, but this one little 10-watt deal angled just right behind me is the equipment. So I like sharing that stuff when people bring it up, because I remember looking at other people's setups being like, how do they get that glow and stuff? And that really is kind of all that it was. And if you get really bored, they got I think that light was $8 or $9. And I bought it for on stage when I play music, and it doesn't work for that at all. But you can, it's got little, make it yellow. That is hard on the eyes.
Spath is actually the guy I was telling you about. That is the only reason I even have a YouTube channel.
Oh man, you got to tell us the story then.
It was months. He kept telling me, he goes, Jared, you got to make a YouTube channel. People would you just, once you start making a video, he goes, it'll just all fall into place. Just make a video. I was like, nah, dude, no, that's just not me. I can't handle the world watching me. I'm such a goofball as it is. I'll screw it up and make an idiot of myself. And finally, it just kind of got to the point where it's like, you know what? He kept saying, come on. It's like, all right, fine. I'll do a video. We'll do a video. And then it evolved from there. And here we are.
So on that topic, tell us about, and I'll share my experience as well, but tell us about getting started. So Spath says you need to get going. What did you start to feel when you did? What made you keep going? What did you experience? Because there's a ton of people after my last video that I put out that were like, I just don't know where to start. I just don't have enough this, or I just don't have enough that. Like, tell us about your experience on that.
That's what I told him though too, was that I don't have enough animals. I don't have enough stuff to do make content. Because at the time I had, let me see here, 2, 4, 6, at 11 snakes.
Yeah.
Just ball pythons anyway. And it's like, I just didn't think that that was enough. You know, you see all these other channels and these guys have like hundreds, or not necessarily hundreds, but you know, they got a big collection.
Yeah.
And it's like me starting out at 11 snakes is like, dude, I don't know if anybody's going to care what a guy with 11 snakes has to say.
Right. Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just like, all right. My Xanthic girl, which laid our first clutch ever last year or this past season, she laid, it's like, all right, that's going to be my first video. I believe that, if I remember correctly, that was my first video, was an egg pulling. And
how long ago was that? When was that?
Oh, that would have been May.
Okay. All right. So
I think it was like a May video.
So you just crossed the 6 month mark.
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. But yeah, so I'm there to say, how am I going to do this now? Because I had originally figured that if I'm going to make a video, that Spath was going to be the one that was going to have to film me, since he knew all of his YouTube tricks and stuff. I was like, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to edit. And ended up, you know, female laid the eggs. It's like, all right, well, he can't just like at the drop of a dime come over. I went over to my son, which at the time, all the snakes were up in my man cave.
Yeah.
Which was right next to my son's bedroom, because we were still building the snake room. And I was like, Dom, I was like, I need you to come over here and film.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean film? I was like, I'm going to do a YouTube video. He goes, oh, you mean you're finally going to do it? I was like, yeah.
How old's your son?
He's 14 now.
Okay, the perfect age to be busting your chops. Like, oh, dad's going to get on. Oh, good job, Pops. Get on YouTube, huh?
And well, the worst part is that, and he even throws this at me every once in a while. I guess it was like a year or two ago. He had said he wanted to become a professional YouTuber. And I told him, Tom, I was like, there's no future in YouTube. And then now look here.
He's owning you, right?
He is. He's got my ticket. So he says, okay, Dad, I'll come over. So, yeah. I mean, like everybody's first videos, it's not the best quality. I'm still to this point getting used to and being in front of the camera.
Right.
I mean, I still stumble, as I've done already tonight. Magic of editing.
Takes note of that, though. You know, like if you're real and genuine and all of that, man, I'll tell you what I found, and I heard it a lot because I like a lot of things. I overanalyzed getting started and thought way too much about it before I just jumped in. But I hear it a lot, so I'll just repeat it. If you're you and you're authentic, you'll find people that click with you. Yeah. And for every person that only owns 6 or 8 or 11 snakes, there's so many people on YouTube. There's like billions on YouTube. There's going to be tens of thousands that only have 6 or 8 snakes, and they're the ones that are going to catch you, you know? And that's what I started to find. And I started to find that attracting those people with authenticity versus what crazy video I could make, or basically anything that I was like putting on a show and not being myself, because I would get pops and subscribers, and then the next video I would actually lose subscribers because I wasn't keeping up the same BS, for lack of a better word. And yeah, like, you know, you try and put on this front like, okay, I'm the expert on YouTube. Here's why you got to watch me. Now it's and all my videos are there. You can go back and find them. It's all like, I am now comfortable enough, and it took me a little while to get there, but I'm comfortable enough to say, here's who I am. Here's what I know. Here's what I don't know. And maybe you could tell me something that I don't know that I don't know. Like, you know, I'm okay with people telling me, I'm like educating me. But I found like so many more people just start to, it's like a more intimate's a weird word, but it's like a more camaraderie in the subscribers, in the audience. And so it's a cool thing. And, you know, where's John? Here he is. John, you've been telling me that I really motivate you for 3 months and you haven't started a channel. I'm not motivating you enough, man.
Come on.
Actually, credit to John when he crossed 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. He made a video, and I think he posted it to YouTube as well. So I can't give him too much of a hard time. Patrick, what's going on? Speaking of one of the people that I connected with, man, he was one of the very, very first to subscribe. And I tell this story sometimes, a little bit of a joke, but I used to think, I was like, man, this guy's just a huge fan of mine. He always comments. And I started watching other ball python channels, and he does it for everybody. So then I was like, I'm not special. And then I was like, holy crap, this guy's like a one-man party for the hobby, for the industry, man. So, you know, that's
you really, notice a lot of times he's like the first person to even let a comment on.
That's right. Yeah.
At least on mine. He's like, boom, right there. Comment.
Yeah. So Spath asked, what do you use to edit? And that actually, I won't bother. Well, I can show it to you. You won't be able to read it. But in my handwritten notes, that was one of the topics that I was going to bring up. So what software do you use? What do you run in your channel on? For anybody who thinks that they can't get going, what do you use on yours, Jeremy? What do you get going with?
I'm using Adobe. I think it's Premiere.
Okay.
Adobe Premiere Elements or something like that. So it's nothing fancy. I think it was, I don't know, like $80-$90 when I got my laptop.
Oh, cool. So it's a serviceable professional product, though, for editing. Yeah.
It does. I mean, it does the trick. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably stuff that's a lot better, but for me, I'm not very tech savvy. I mean, anybody that's actually knows me, like Spath, I think Tony or Charles Haley's still here, which is Tony. They all know me. I'm not very tech savvy by any means. So if I can run it, anybody can run it.
Let's see. Adam Fritz, particularly said, tell him what's up from me, please and thanks. By all means, Adam Fritz, thanks for joining me tonight too.
He's actually one of the guys that helped me get the snake room up and running as far as getting it framed up and built. So I owe a lot of thanks to him too.
Nice. I want to talk about that facility in a minute as well. So, all right. So you use Adobe for your software, and then what do you use to film on? Is it you on a cell phone or a laptop, or what are you using these days?
Right now, I use my phone.
Yeah.
There for a little bit, I did start using the laptop because I thought, hey, this is nice. I can kind of angle it a little bit better.
Right.
Because before I would always have to find either someone to hold the phone or like prop it up against something. It kind of became inconvenient. So I got the laptop and thought, hey, this is nice, but the picture quality sucked. Or at least I thought it did for videos.
It's weird how bad those webcams are. Man, we got laptops that can run like supercomputer. I mean, literally like supercomputer caliber processes to run gaming in real time and to be streaming gaming. And you get a toaster oven of a camera, and you're like, what is this? Yeah. And I truly don't get it, because clearly they can fit in plenty small things. I mean, the cell phones are fantastic to film on.
But yeah, I ended up breaking down, bought a tripod. Someone gave me a gift card to Amazon. So I
there you go.
$25. I told my wife, "Is like, find me a tripod that I can use." So got a tripod, and now that I do all the filming with that now.
Yeah. So if anybody out there is thinking like, oh, I don't want to buy the equipment or this and that, I just crossed 200 videos, but and I started in November of 2020. So I'm at just 13 months now. I didn't get this Canon that I'm filming on tonight. I didn't get that until it was after the Daytona show. When was the Daytona show? August? Be really honest, it was August 21st. So it was sometime in September that I got that. So really, I've only had that two months and change. So really, I did probably 160, 70 videos just on my cell phone. And then no, and they're fantastic. And like, you can go crazy on an iPhone. What are they up to? 13s or whatever. But this was a Samsung, and it's not the Galaxy. It's like an A50 or something. But you won't be able to see it. Maybe you can't. Yeah, look at it. It's got 5 cameras. You see those dots? It's got 5 cameras on that thing, and it's
I have
unreal.
one in the flash.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, they do incredible things. Now, I'm really enjoying this Canon. This lighting on the cell phone would look different. You know, I can zoom and tweak, and you know, I can do some things in real time, but I even don't use, I'm still learning on this camera. I said it last week. One of my buddies described it as like the very best camera for the very dumbest person. I was like, sweet,
that's what I need.
Here I am.
A camera with training wheels.
Yeah. But I saw Stephen and Courtney using it, and I was really impressed with their production. And it was just another one of those, all right, time to take another leap kind of things. So, yeah. Hey, I see a whole lot of new faces tonight. Kara, thanks for joining. Spath, Charles, Haley. I think I've already said hello to you both, but thanks for joining the show tonight.
That's my wife.
That's your wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to ring her a little
secret. She needs to change the last name on this. What the heck, hon?
Oh, she's not all in yet, huh?
She's, what is that, daylight as somebody else? Isn't that what you call it?
And Pet Sotics, excuse me. They brought up a really good point. The pace you're on is really strong. He or she, I don't know the gender there, but saying they've been on 4 years and only have 500 views. You're at 500 subscribers. You're at 338. So, man, yeah, you're cranking it. There will be ups and downs, as you probably already experienced, and there'll be more. But I know
it seemed like last week. Actually, after you gave me that shout out the other week.
Yeah,
sub counts started going up, views went up like crazy. I mean, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And now, like the past 2 days, it's like YouTube's like, no, you were doing too good. We're gonna dumb you down here or something. Because like I've been at I think I got 1 sub yesterday, 1 today, and my views have just like plummeted for out of no reason. It's like, what?
I don't know. I've had a few ups and downs, but just lately there's like a hump at 800 grams, man. I feel like I'm feeding a ball python that's coming into being adult and hitting the wall, man. I think I finally busted out of it, but for heading up to 800 subscribers, I was really like on it, man. I was almost averaging 3 a day, which is, 100 a month, which is just cranking. And then like right now, my stats are I had about 3 weeks that were barely 1 a day. And that was just because it was still like trailing the last good week, on the trailing 28 days kind of thing. So, hey, Primal Scales, I didn't say hey to you tonight. I see you on Instagram a lot. I see you on the comments and a great channel over on Instagram, Primal Scales. Check them out. Primal Scales says, what is the model camera that you have again? Hang on just 1 second, guys. You off to bed, Charlie? Oh, you're going to say goodnight? You want to pop on? All right, come on. Thank you. This is Charlie. This is my boy.
Hello.
He's a 1/2 partner on one snake. He's got an Axanthic female that he bought half of for school 1 year. So
I get money now.
Oh, you don't get money yet, pal.
Now, did you make the deal like I did?
Yeah,
gets half of it.
You got to do the cleaning. You got to buy half the rats. All right, dude.
You can't buy all the rats, and I'm broke.
Yeah, well, you gotta sell some of those babies. Give me a kiss. I love you, dude. Have a good night, okay?
You too.
All right, sweet dreams, son.
You too.
So, Primal Scales, the camera that I use is a Canon M50 is the name and model number of it. And I'm not in the camera speak. I don't know a whole lot about them. But it's the second edition, the Mark II. So Canon M50 Mark II. And why the Mark II is nice, man. And again, I don't know anything about cameras other than that this one is like foolproof. You don't have to know anything about settings. And it's cool because the little things that you do learn about it just seem like life-changing, like you're filming like Hollywood films. But one of the cool things, I'm looking at the little screen finder that's just so the lens is here and the screen finder's here. The autofocus focuses on your pupil and it's fast, man. Like, so I don't go out of focus on
Let's
like
see if I do.
I mean, it's really cool, and I can even, I don't know if I could do it while I'm filming, while I'm hooked up. Yeah, I can. It's too dark. Never. Oh yeah, see, now it's focused behind me just that fast. See, I got fuzzy, and now back to my eye, and now the little diver dude is fuzzy again. So I mean, it's pretty cool stuff that I don't think most phones can do, although give them a year or two. But Canon M50 Mark II is what I'm using, and otherwise there's one light ring. And there's actually a desk lamp that my wife doesn't use. And I discovered that I could move the, oh, there it is. It's just one of those little desk lamps. And I was like, I can use that for light. Okay, I'll use it for lighting. So that's the setup. And this microphone, it is live, but I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes I only use it for looks so that it looks like I have like a podcast. it is live tonight. I am actually using it tonight. It's one of my music, it's a room microphone, so actually I have to be careful with it because I will overdrive it the way I talk or get excitable. But I kind of like how it looks in the frame, and I'm like, yeah, I need one of those mics right there, you know. Well, props.
Gives you the professional look.
Yeah, I gotta have something.
A lot more professional than what I got going on.
Well, the thing is, you know, who knows? It's just kind of a anyway. It's all of it's part of the show, you know. So tell us about your snake room. Sounds like you built it. Is that where? What? Yeah, tell us about it.
It's down in the basement of our house.
Okay.
It originally was a much smaller room, and we ended up knocking. I actually knocked down all the walls, everything. It was actually drywalled, so I even knocked out all the drywall and started from scratch. I think it's like 14 by 12 or something like that. So it's not huge,
cool. No,
but it's at least decent size.
I see 2 empty walls. You got plenty of space for lots of snakes, man.
Well, that's just the poor man in me that I couldn't afford the full racks.
Trust me, that is not a shot at you. That is you have a broad way to grow in the future is what that is. That's all that is.
So it's the price of those ARS racks kind of make it to where you got to pick and choose a little bit sometimes.
You do, and it's hard. Like, okay, do I want a Desert Ghost or do I want an ARS rack? You know, it's like, man, that's snake money right there. You know,
and but at the same token, you know, do I want to have to upgrade later? Excuse me, or do I just want to get what I'm going to want in the end and kind of, you know, limp along a little bit?
Yeah, it's a hard choice, and I got to think how to put this right. You know, Phil is great, by the way. Incredibly supportive, incredibly knows what he's doing. Like mentor caliber, really knows what's up. Check out his Instagram on Finger Snakes BP. Phil, if you want to type that handle, I'll post it up. It's a really great Instagram channel. I don't know which way to advocate. You know, I hear I was really put off early on one of Ozzy's videos where he's like, man, don't waste your time with DIY racks. Well, the fact is, if I hadn't wasted my time with DIY racks, I wouldn't be wasting my time with ball pythons in the first place because I wouldn't have anywhere to put them. Like I had to start somewhere. And I think, to my credit, maybe not, I might be my own personal bias now, but to my credit, I put thought into the design of those racks so that I could still use them for a long, long time. So I, to this day, still don't have the ARS or the Freedom Breeder racks. I use 3/4 inch PVC. And there are guys like,
I say, look at Kai.
Look at Justin. Justin's got nothing but PVC floor to ceiling. I don't know that he has any. I'm sure he probably does some. He probably is given ARS racks, to be honest with you. But, you know, those guys get by really well. So I do think it could be done right. I do think, you know, to turn an about face, like for me, the particle board kind of quality rack or lack of quality racks I don't think that that's the way to go. But on the other hand, those racks that I built with the 3/4 inch PVC, those still ran me $500 a pop. I mean,
they're not cheap. I mean, no matter how you do it,
and I built those. That was me doing it myself, you know? So, I don't ever want people to, just like we're talking about, it doesn't matter if you're using a cell phone, you know, if you could provide the right husbandry for your animals. I still use, you know, hefty locking tubs that I bought at Lowe's, and I'm 2 years in on those. I figured I'd be replacing them. They're great tubs. I'm like, you know what? Why? I would, again, if I could provide the right husbandry for them and it doesn't get in the way of my work and efficiency, put the money in the snakes, man. That's what I say. As long as you could care for them, you know.
Exactly. I mean, there's more than one. Like my dad always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
It's all in finding what you like, what works for you, and I mean, everybody's different. I mean, I wish, like, if I had the time and felt like I could actually build a good quality PVC rack, like you're saying, I'd probably do it. Time just kind of always seems to escape me.
You know, it's
I mean,
funny. It's kind of like a lot of things. Once you build one, the first one will take you forever. You're like, I remember building the first one, like, I'm in it and now I got to change the design. I missed this. I didn't realize this. I didn't know this. But the second one flew, and then I built a hatchling rack, and it was like, I think it was less than 2-3 hours, man. It was a really pretty quick build. So you get going. Now, Kai, you've seen the documentary on Netflix, man. Don't mess with cats. Don't bring that on my channel, brother.
That makes me think of, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before on your live. Kai and I got to talking, and I thought he was talking about, said something about surfing, and then underneath on it started like a new line. It said Morph Market. And I'm thinking that he's talking about being out like surfing and then, you know, hopping on Morph Market afterwards. Then I made a comment about sharks. And then I reread his comments like, oh my God.
I saw it and I was thrown off. I don't think it was at the very same time. You know, some of the dialect or linguistics from Paul from the UK on the show, what we know in the United States is simply as koi or koi fish. He was saying koi carp.
Yeah.
And the R is usually not very accentuated with a British accent. So I felt horrible. I had no idea what he was saying. And then when Kai was like, we just call him koi. And I'm like, oh, koi, oh. You know, and here you guys are rambling on about surfing and sharks in the background, and I had to recover from my on-air stumble before I could get to the comments, you know. So anyhow, okay, so it's your basement room down there. And did we ever talk about how many snakes you have now? What's your keeper stock or your breeder or holdback combined stock?
Combined, I think I'm at like 28 roughly.
Okay,
it's like 28, 29, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Most of them are hatchlings. I did keep a lot out of this season, just, you know, obviously for future purposes. But our first clutch was double het. Everything was het for Exantic and het for clown. My second clutch was basically just kind of like a for fun clutch there. I did a pastel banana female to a GHI Mojave male.
Oh, nice. Did you get any all fours?
I did, and want me to show one off? Because I know my buddy Tony said about showing her off because he loves.
Is that the one he wants? Yeah, that's the one. Oh, bring it. Oh, look at you. You do have some ARS racks back there. Oh, poor boy me, man. You got the racks back there. Look at you. All right, so you got a banana, a pastel, a GHI Mojave.
Yep. This is the all gene.
That is cool.
Oh, I'm trying to. Yeah, my wife calls her Katniss because it looks like there's flames going down her spine.
Yeah. That's
a
great snake,
favorite
man.
snake.
That's really great. Could you hold it up sideways, like a little bit long? See the side pattern on it? Yeah, man.
Now her dad, like, there's no pattern on the sides with her dad. He's like completely patternless, and that's what I was hoping to hit was this morph or combo, but completely patternless.
And I'm sorry, what was he?
He was the GHI Mojave. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So, and for those that don't know, the GHI Mojave is almost like a black snake with just the yellow line on the top, basically, right?
Yeah. Now he's got. I've never known ball pythons really change color, but he changes his head color like crazy. Like he'll get to almost where it's white. But this is Dad.
That's cool. He's a great looking snake. And notice how even in maturity, his contrast hasn't faded much, man. He's great.
No, he's fantastic looking. I mean, pictures, like almost everything, like I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Pictures never do him justice.
Yeah.
Never.
Man, the last one I sold, I met the guy in person here, and like, I don't want to over dramatize it. It's not like he started crying or anything, but he was just blown away. He's like, oh my gosh, usually people are full of it when they say pictures don't do it justice. And he was just like, look at that thing. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So Mark bought the comment that I got put up there. Mark bought one of a banana female from me. And I'm certain it's Het Clown, but I'm not certain of anything else beyond banana. I think I just sold it as a single gene banana. Mark, you could fill me in the comments if I'm spinning anything wrong here. Maybe we sold it as maybe a pastel, but I think just single gene banana. But there's something else going on in it, man. It's just electric. His hasn't gotten any spots. Mark, all of mine, actually, except the last one, I sold one that I'm just waiting for the guys coming this weekend to pick up. That one hasn't gotten any spots yet. And one of my other females hasn't shown any spots yet either. Yeah. Okay. So yes, it's 100% Het Clown, 50% Het Ghost, banana. And then that's the clutch that I think that the dad has, he's a clown, and I think he's got blade going on in him. And then one of the other snakes you were talking about earlier that you think you've got one with fire in it, I think I got vanilla flying around in there. So I don't know if the one that Mark got is like a banana vanilla and that's adding that electricity to it, if there's a Het Ghost influence to it. Anyhow, it's a cool snake. So he kind of keeps me posted on her. And I've got so much curiosity as to what's in that clutch. I try and keep up with everybody that bought those snakes, because over time I'm going to prove out those parents. Those are both breeders again for me. So how many of your hatchlings? Oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I was going to say that banana clutch. I had people hitting me up just because of like the YouTube videos, like especially the clutch cutting. I didn't even get the chance to put those on Morph Market or anything. The ones I had for sale were just gone.
That's so fantastic.
Like,
we put so much pressure, or I do, I don't know if you do, but I put so much pressure on myself to get monetized. And I know it's not going to make me rich. It's probably, I don't know, a couple, $10-20 a month kind of thing out of the gate. But it's just like this mindset hurdle that I want to get to. And then it dawns on me just what you're talking about. I think I sold 8 snakes on YouTube this year, and I only had 15, and I kept 3 of them. So, I mean, I sold well over half of my snakes on YouTube, and I really only did, I think I did 2 like snakes for sale. I did one live, like, hey, check these out now kind of thing before they hit Morph Market. And then I did these are all my snakes on Morph Market kind of video. So I think I did 2, like, these are for sale. But hell, that's monetized on YouTube right there. Like, as an advertising vehicle, that's winning already there. So how many of your hatchlings did you hold back this year?
Let's see. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like 14.
Oh, you kept 14. Good for you.
I held back 14. I think I hatched, I think it was 22, if I remember correctly.
Okay,
so
wow. So you kept a lot.
I did. But see, the odds were in my favor. Like, all the combos I wanted to hit as females were males. but every clutch was female heavy. Like I had my first clutch was 2 males and 5 females. And the banana clutch was all females because the mom was the banana. So in theory, she can throw either male or female.
Correct. Right.
But she threw all females on that one.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot about that. My male banana that I held back is a female maker, Het Clown, 50% Het Ghost. I gotta make sure I remember that. Duh. Hello, that's a good thing. You just get so like, one thing that you focus on, and then the things that you forget because you gotta make videos and you got work and you gotta clear for the snakes and you're on to the next season breeding. Like it ends, you have selling season, and then boom, you're right back on it again. So how many clutches do you have? 4 or 5? You said you had 22 eggs. So
I had 4 clutches. I did 5 pairings. And I had 1 female reabsorber. And that was actually the one clutch that I wanted to actually really hit because it was going to be a bell maker. It was our GHI Mojave paired to my son's lesser pewter. And like had said with your son and the snake that he bought, that was our deal. I told him, I'll breed my male too, or we'll go for bells. And we'll split the clutch down the middle, 50-50, whatever of yours sells, you'll get all the money out of that. And to kind of help give him a little bit of motivation to try to, because eventually I want to pass this on to my kids.
Right.
Like, eventually I want this to become like my actual like job.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how active are your kids with it?
Dom kind of, he likes the snakes, but he's typical teenager. I mean, he wants to play video games, but there for a while he was all about the snakes and stuff. My daughter's 1.5 years, and she loves to come down and wave hi to the snakes and everything.
Oh, cool. So, great, man.
We're still working with her, but she, for whatever reason, loves Xena the carpet python, which is probably about the most hateful out of all the collection. But she loves her for whatever reason.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
Yeah.
With
what you were saying about the snake room, all the walls are like 6 inches thick of insulation.
Right.
To help keep all the temperature in and everything.
I did. I've said it before on the show, but so the garage is, and I live in North Florida, so we do get some temperature fluctuation. So my garage is like 20 by 20, and that's my office and my music rehearsal space is right over here. And then I built a room inside the garage. Outside of that room, I put in a mini split Mitsubishi deal, and that keeps the garage from getting too hot. I don't heat the garage with that. I just keep that. That's my high end, bringing the temperature down if I need to in the summertime. Mm-hmm. And then inside the room, I built it's like 12 by 9 ish snake room. And I didn't use the thick kind of, not foam. What's the, like, wannabe cottony insulation. I use
fiberglass insulation.
Yeah, I use the stuff that looks like really dense styrofoam, and I think it's rated to R8 on there. And I put up 2x4 studs, and then I've got a very thin plywood outer wall, and then that insulation, and then an inner wall on the inside. And the ceiling is that same insulation as well. So and then to heat that room when I need to in the wintertime, I have an oil register space heater on a thermostat. So like this time of year, I leave that hooked up constantly.
So that's kind of what I'm doing now too. I kind of have a little electric heater down here that has its own thermostat, and I have it set, I think it's like 75. I have it turned off now, but I just let that on all day just to help keep the temps regular in here.
Yeah. I keep mine flat. I don't do the night drops or I don't even do, I was going to say, I don't even do the seasonal stuff just by the nature of the lack of insulation in the garage, not the little room, the garage itself does feel the seasonal fluctuations. So that does add to it. Like they knew when winter had come, their behavior changed. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, same here.
And yeah, I'm sure. So you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lancaster
So
County.
What's that?
Lancaster County, the Amish capital of the world.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. How your basement, is it fully submerged, or do I see a window back there, partial submerged? How much stability do you get from being underground?
Basically, I mean, I have that one window there, but it's a window well. It's not like it's an actual, like, very functional window, put it that way. I mean, I can half open it.
Right, but I'm saying as far as how deep on where would ground level be? At the bottom of that window?
Yeah, ground level would be at the bottom of that window. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So does it stay pretty consistent temperature down there or not?
It does. Without the heater, it normally, like summertime, it's like 75, 76. Yeah. And granted, I only have a couple racks going, or my adult rack and then my hatchling rack. So I figure as the more racks get in here, it'll bring that ambient temperature up a little bit. Because I'd like it to generally be closer to 80.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's what I keep mine at. Yeah.
At the same token, it's kind of nice that it's where it's at. I don't sweat to death down here at the moment. And on top of it, the snakes, they still have their hot end, they have their cool end.
That's right. That's right. They got their place to go.
Yeah.
And then, so did you do the, I see the lots of outlets, nice and convenient. You wire, no, I'm serious, man. You wire those yourself and all that?
I had my cousin help me, and Adam, wherever he got to, he helped me do that too. Cool. Originally, when I designed the room, I had figured for using TGR racks, because that's what, I don't know if you can see it, the black one is. That's the old TGR racks.
All right.
And I originally designed it to use those. And when Corona hit, TGR went out of business. So I was kind of, it's like, I needed rack space. It's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I was looking. And then my buddy Mike that does the boa breedings, he said, dude, you try ARS. And I went over and checked his stuff out. And I was like, you know what? This is nice stuff. I mean,
very nice. Yeah.
Crazy, but it's nice.
Yeah.
So I bought what I needed for a first season of hatchlings, or what I thought I would need anyway for a first season of hatchlings, and enough for adults. So that's where I'm at now.
Very cool. No, you're set up then. I mean, you're in, that's great. What amperage do you know what, how many circuits did you run for your outlets? They all on the same circuit, or do you run a couple so you don't overload them?
Each wall's on its own breaker.
Okay. And what do you got, 20 amp on those, or did you go higher?
I think they're 20 amp. I think they're 20s. If I remember correctly, I think we put 20 amps on them.
Yeah. If you got a couple circuits of 20 amps, you're in good shape. To be honest, out here in this garage, between my fridge, my garage opener, my office, that AC split, and the register heater, I have 2 circuits out here, and sometimes they pop, which really kind of frightens me. I mean, fortunately, we're in Florida. The snakes aren't going to freeze, but they could get plenty hot in the summertime if that breaker with the mini split on it trips. So actually, one of the things that I've got to get done before summer comes around is get an electrician in here and have them run me. I'm probably going to have them run me 2 more 20 amps, just so. There could be a day where I insulate this garage and the whole garage becomes this thing, true conversion on it. I still use the garage door now, so that's not the case right now, but could be one day. So More Fine Exotic says, didn't Florida ban exotic reptiles? If so, how will that hurt you in the hobby? So they banned, there's a list of 10 species that they banned. And retics are on those, and Burmese pythons are on those. Otherwise, it's fairly obscure animals that don't affect the hobby too much. Before I moved to Florida, my perception was really that it was a dangerous place to try and run a business out of from a reptile standpoint. And it's because I heard, I read a lot of the US ARC headlines, and that's not me knocking them, but it's sort of the man bites dog. Like, a dude biting a dog is probably not that big of a deal, except that's what gets the headlines, and it's one off, So yeah, there was a ban enacted that is still in place and probably always will be. It's not going to get better in Florida as far as invasive species, but ball pythons are not on any lists, and I don't know where I fall on it yet. In Florida, legally, you have to have what's called a class 3 wildlife license to possess and sell anything other than domesticated animals. And as you could probably imagine, that's not followed all that well throughout the hobby. But I have mine. I have my license, and it is here. So if that makes a difference to anybody, that is legitimate. And really, if it came down to it and it came down to a question of my livelihood, I would probably get pretty active in the politics of it, because there is a right way to keep animals. There's a safe way to keep animals. And selfishly, if one animal in the reptile hobby is clumped into ball pythons, which animals are throughout, if you're not into reptiles, you just see snakes as snakes. It may as well be copperheads and cobras that we're keeping, right? Which we know ball pythons aren't the case. But I would hit the road pretty hard on, here's my license. Here's what I have to do. I can be inspected at any time that any law enforcement wants to knock on my door. I have to give GPS coordinates for my facility. I have to get, not that I think they'll ever follow up on it, but I'm confident enough in what I'm doing. And, if anybody gets any dumb ideas, I got plenty of security cameras and that kind of thing as well. So, I'm confident in it. And honestly, for myself, I wanted that license because I'm more skeptical of HOA associations and some lady on the corner raising hell with the HOA that, Adam's breeding cobras in there, where I could go to I could go to the HOA board meeting and go, here's my license to do business. How many people around here are doing unlicensed business off of Craigslist or whatever other nonsense, bringing who knows who to the neighborhood? You got bigger problems than Adam and his so-called cobras, because it ain't real. And the Florida Wildlife Commission says I'm doing it right. Here you go. So to me, it doesn't help the hobby. I mean, the banning of any reptile doesn't help, because it just puts headlines. And people in Ohio are reading, Florida's banning reptiles, it's all going to hell. That's not the case. On the other hand, having that license, which frankly cost me $50 and about an hour's worth of work writing stuff out, is totally worth having. And now I don't have to be behind the scenes or lay low or worry about what my son says to who. I'm totally a licensed business, totally legit. The IRS knows about me. Florida Wildlife Commission knows about me. Now I just need customers to know about me, So
I know that's like my next step is like PA's like really weird with how they word it. Like they have theirs from how it's like you can interpret it so many ways.
Right.
If you're do it as a hobbyist, then you don't need to do this or that. But if you do it as a business, then you need to have like the breeder's license. And I mean, it's just kind of like at what point have you crossed the line? And
right.
Well, I still need to get that breeder's license, because obviously I'm going to be taking this, farther than just a hobby. Right.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know what it costs a PA. In Florida, it's not. I'll put it this way: I spend 3 times as much being able to list stuff on Morph Market. Like, all right, if it's the cost to get in the game and not have to, Adam Fritz nailed it. HOAs are dirty commies, man. They are such a sham. Holy cow. And I don't want to go down that, but anyway, they are, and I'll leave it be there. But I'd rather have that and like I say, be able to go toe to toe with anybody who says I shouldn't have snakes. I mean, again, I was joking earlier when I said you can't mess with cats, but it's pretty true. But I can make the argument that local house cats kill a hell of a lot more local wildlife than my ball pythons ever will, and you can write that down. So, and I'm not knocking cat. I don't own one because I'm violently allergic, but I have a dog that would kill, just as much local wildlife if I let it loose. So, man, hey, we still got 20 viewers, not subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, I know Jeremy and I would appreciate it if you're enjoying the content. This is the kind of content that we make on the live shows, and we each have our own channel otherwise. So Jeremy's at WARFEL'S MORPHS, WARFEL''S, and his name your name should be on the screen. I
think we both lost our names.
Yeah, I don't know where. Let me see here. Hang on a second. Okay. Well, Adam Fritz, your time's up. We got to have our name. We're going to be the Morphine says, from my understanding, in Pennsylvania, a hobby is $650. Morph, is that from revenue? You talking $650 revenue a year on that? Is that your understanding anyhow? So in Florida, it's to display or to sell. So, okay. But what's funny is, and again, I do not want to dive down the hole of politics. I'll keep it from an historical perspective. From the historical perspective of the United States as 50 states with rights versus a federal system that always has coexisted, I'm curious as to, if I didn't have a license in Florida, but I only sold to customers outside of Florida on Morph Market, where would the jurisdiction be? And does Florida have anything to say about it? Because I'm not displaying nor selling the snakes in Florida, right? But that's how I convinced myself for the 6 months that I lived here and didn't have my license that I was fine. Morph says, yeah, so revenue. So he says in Pennsylvania, $650. Not that we're unappreciative for lesser priced snakes. On the other hand, most of us will probably, at least once a season have a snake that gets above the $650 mark that we would aim for.
That girl I showed you, that she's probably about, I'd say probably close to 900 if going off a Morph Market.
Right. So, I mean, those are the goals. I talked in my last video, I talked some about, my goal, my aim was to have a average sale price of $500 a snake. And there's $500 snakes, there's $600, there's $1,000 snakes, but then there's a whole bunch of $80 and $150 snakes as well, So balancing the business with those is vital. So I got a couple more things on here. If you do decide you need to wrap up, give me the wink, but
I'm good all night, brother. I'm good. We can take this for hours.
No, at most I could tell you it will wrap up before 10 o'clock Eastern time. I can promise you that. But no, that is not to say that I'm wrapping anything up. You said you've had snakes for a long time, but then I think you were saying this was your first breeding season. What was the change? What got you going? Where's that journey? How did that happen?
Well, I guess it would have been probably like in my teenage years. I kind of got overwhelmed with everything that I had. I mean, it's not cheap to feed a blood python that wants to eat basically something about the size of a rabbit. I mean, she was like 6 foot and 26 pounds. I mean, it was
that's a lot of snake.
Yeah. And I just kind of, everything with life, just being a teen and everything, I kind of put reptiles off to the side for a long time. Maybe rightly
so. I mean, teenagers probably aren't the epitome of who you want, of caregivers. And I mean, you might have been personally, but teenagers in general aren't known for their great decisions. Yeah. I'll speak for myself.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we've all had those whoopsie moments.
That's what teenage years are for. Yeah. Yep.
But once I got married, I poked around with the idea with my wife. I don't know if she's still watching or not, so she could chime in here. But I said, hey, why I'd like to get a snake. And she's like, no, there's no way are you getting a snake and bringing it into this house.
Right.
So I worked on her and, did a little bit of that salesmanship charm, told her, it won't get out. I'll get a cage where it can't escape and this and that. And so she finally said, okay. So we went to a reptile show and found what I wanted, which I got a killer bee, which is the female that I bred.
And that's the one you've been after. You remembered from your teen days being just a killer snake, right? Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Actually, originally I wanted to get just a bumblebee, which was, she's still watching.
There she is, yeah.
I originally just wanted a bumblebee, and I forget what breeder I got it from, but he goes, well, I got this killer bee. He goes, it's only like a couple bucks more. He goes, but you're getting that extra the extra pastel gene. So I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll do it. Because in the back of my head, I was already planning, slightly, maybe I could take this a little bit farther.
Right. Yeah. You're getting one step, but you're thinking 9 steps. Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
So got that one, and a couple months went by. I said, hey, hon, got this crazy idea. I was like, how about we get another one? And so we went and got another one. And I think that was our pastel banana girl. Because we had
how long ago was this?
This would have been 2018.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
2018, we got married. We bought our house. Yeah, it was a busy year that year.
Right.
We went out and got our pastel banana because we had joked about my niece. We call her Anna Banana. And I made the comment. I said, well, there's a banana ball python. So, of course, then the thing was, well, you have to get a banana ball python and call it Anna. So we went and did just that. And at that point, say, all right, well, we got 2 girls because, that's why I went with the female route because I was always told you get your females first.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, now I'm going to start thinking about a male. And everything just kind of snowballed. And here we are. I mean, we added, I think it was 1, 2, I think we added like 3 or 4 snakes within a year's time frame. Now, the one, because just starting out, I was taking breeders at their words for the sexes of them. So there were 2 that I were told were females, ended up being males, and really killed my plans.
Yeah.
So that kind of set me back a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't had the issue of the sex problem of the snakes. I'm curious about whether I missed the odds horribly on some hets or they just not the hets. That'd be a little bit more disappointing, although clearly not unheard of or uncommon in the hobby, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, but on the other hand, I think that there's been some bonus genes. Like I say, the hatchlings I got from that banana to a clown pairing were, I mean, just looking at them mathematically, there is more than banana and pastel in that mix. Like there just is. There's something else there. So that's kind of fun. Like I say, there's the bonus things that you come across. So maybe I'll land on those as well. But you getting 4 out of 5 of your first pairings to go. Only 2 of my 4 went. I made 4 pairings and only 2 of them went. So that's really killer out of the gate
on your video.
Yeah. And it, you roll with it. Like I say, in that video, I talked about laying out that I really wanted to find a path to being profitable this year, mostly to put boundaries on myself. Because if I don't, I know my personality, things I like, I'm going to go do them. Like there's a reason certain things in life I can never, ever do because I'll die. I will do it until I die. So I cannot do that. So like if I don't, so aiming to be profitable was really a boundary and a goal, and I enjoy business. So it was a fun endeavor, but my whole business model relied on the assumption I would have 4 clutches and then I would hit some odds, but I didn't need incredible odds. but I only got 2 out of the 4 clutches. And one of the clutches was a total bust. It was a head-to-head, and I got 0 visuals out of it. When I got 7 eggs, like you'd think there'd be 1 in there. No.
But still, 7-8, was that her first year breeding?
Yeah.
See, that to me, that in itself is a win, because I know when my Xanthic girl dropped 7 eggs, I thought I hit the lottery because I expected 4.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was thrilled. I was thrilled right until I cut them. Man, I was living. I got so the flip side of failures is what are the successes? I got 15 healthy eggs, no slugs. Every one of the hatchlings lived.
Mm-hmm.
No visuals on the head-to-head, but on the other hand, the banana and the clown one, like you say, I had the same. I think I know for sure she laid 8 eggs. That was the first time she bred. She laid 8. And I think that I think it was 5-3 female heavy, and it was 6 out of 8 were banana, which was pretty cool too.
So that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So, in the moment, everything seems so like momentous, and like it's not. Time will go on. And now if that had been like my make or break thing that I was putting food on the table with, then I would be, a mess.
That's a completely different story. Then.
Yeah, and that's why I'm wading into it, and that's why I want to know what the heck I'm doing first. So, this is a great question. Pet Sodic said, "Would it be okay if I contacted you both through your IG?" I don't want to speak for Jeremy, but yeah, I'm Proper Royals on Facebook, on Instagram. Somebody commented earlier, we both have Morph Market stores too. So we're obviously the small guys on there. I'll speak for myself. I'm a very small guy on Morph Market, but I am on there. So any support on any of those platforms, and then my email is also properroyals@gmail. So any of the above, I really make an effort to reply to everybody. I guess I'm not at 100%, but I do pretty well replying. So by all means, feel free to. What's that?
So I do my best too to get back to everybody. I've had people even contact me that bought snakes from I don't know what other breeder, and they were asking me with issues they were having, and I even tried to help them as best as I could.
Yeah, I've had people reach out to me that way, and I don't know if Kai's still on or not, but Kai was really good about that. I was able to bounce some ideas off of him, and I never bought to this day, I haven't bought a snake from him. I will. He just deals in expensive stuff, so I'm getting there. I promise I will. But yeah, it's a really cool community that way. And Mark nailed it. Support from partners is really cool. My wife doesn't do a whole lot of the cleaning and stuff, but she will if I'm out of town playing music. She is quick to take care of the snakes, which is great. And she's been really supportive. It was always kind of like, hey, look, those are yours. She knows the rabbit holes that I'll go down. We had a dog that died 4 or 5 years ago, and we were like, let's just get some fish. That's a cool hobby. Yeah, a month later, I got 400 gallons of cichlid tanks. Great. And admittedly, I worked a lot then, and I wasn't taking care of the fish. So suddenly, Kelly's got a part-time job cleaning fish tanks, which is no walk in the park. Let me tell you, ball pythons are easier to keep than fish.
No way.
Yeah, definitely. So anyhow, but she's very supportive. And so anyhow, hey, Jay popped up tonight. Jay, I hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks for stopping by the show tonight. Jay is a dear friend that we go way back on, so I always appreciate him. He doesn't own a ball python, and I don't predict that he will, but he loves he is one of the greatest entrepreneurs I know. Just kind of amazing American spirit. And he and I bounce ideas off of each other like crazy, and he's forever supportive of the show and supportive of the endeavors of Proper Royals. So it's really cool. Morph, hey, thanks. Some more fine. Thanks very much for hanging out tonight. You were here for a long time. Hector, it's good to see you. Aptly named Gratitude Reptiles. That would kind of be me in a nutshell if I were to rename myself. So I get it. Jeremy, how many double hets clutches did you have this year? Did you focus on any double hat projects? I know you said Xanthic Clown and Desert Ghost earlier.
I had the Xanthic Clown clutch and I had the Desert Ghost clutch. Those were the only two recessives that those were the only two recessive pairings I had going on this past season.
Gotcha. And are all three of those that you mentioned, are those visuals of those that you have?
I have one visual TSK female.
Yeah.
I have a visual Bumblebee Clown, which has, I don't know if you saw the video. He's got a really crazy pastel line floating in him.
Huh.
I mean,
okay.
and it, like the pastel looks almost like a best closest thing I can come up with would be like a yellow belly pastel. It's just intense.
Yeah.
But and that's the visual clown that I have for male. And then I have a Desert Ghost male.
Desert Ghost male.
So, but now what I have sitting in the rack that I bought that I'm growing up is an Orange Dream Xanthic, which she should be ready rough. I'm hoping next season.
Okay.
So we'll hopefully be doing some visuals for next season at least. And then I got an Enchi Clown this year.
Yeah.
And then I part with my buddy Mike that I partnered up with the boa stuff. He traded some of his boas for it's an Orange Dream Fire Clown. And he's like, I don't really have ball pythons at where he's at. He just has room for his boas. He goes, well, I'll get this thing. He goes, you take care of it and we'll split the clutches as you make them. So it's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Put my arm on like an OD Fire Clown. I mean, female, let's get it going.
Yeah, that's killer. That'll be great. And I think I'll let you explain it if you want to. I think you've shared it on videos before, but if you rather keep it private, that's fine too. You had told me about an interesting business venture with somebody else with the snakes related. I don't know how transparent you want to be on that.
No, that's Mike that I was talking about. He's got some top end boas, and he was basically wholesaling his stuff to like just other breeders and everything, and then they were selling them off.
Yeah.
And I in the back of my head, I had hoped to, one day him and I kind of partner up.
Yeah.
And one day he actually he sent me a text. He goes, hey, bro, he goes, I have this idea and this plan I want to run by you. And, what do you think? And he told me, I was like, heck yeah, dude, let's make this happen. Because one of my greatest videos, I'm a ball python channel for the most part, except for a little bit of the carpets. But I did 2 videos over at his place with the boas. And that first boa video has gotten me more subscribers than any other solo video. And it has more views than any other solo video.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I have all these people on my channel that want boas. I was like, this is going to be a walk, hopefully a walk in the park. I mean, it's like I had people messaging me about some of the stuff I showed in the videos. And I was like, dude, it's like, let's do this. We got this. So we worked out as a little deal, where, he does all the taking care of them, breeding. I basically do all the marketing and, let him know, hey, this baby sold or that baby sold. And I get X% of the sale out of it.
Right. So he's making more than he was wholesaling.
Yep.
You're able to run some cash flow and expose yourself to a broader audience and attract a broader audience and a broader customer base.
Exactly. Which
that's
I thought,
brilliant. That's checks all the boxes. Phenomenal. Nice job.
Thank you. I thought, my dad always told me, never put all your eggs in one basket. And ball, everything with the ball pythons, I mean, there's no, you could do just ball pythons, no problem. But if I notice at a lot of the shows, you have guys that have mainly one species, ball pythons, but then they have a couple of this or a couple of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me thinking with the carpets. That's my extra little, frosting on the cake, so to speak.
Yeah.
And now with the boas, now I'm adding sprinkles onto that frosting.
Yeah. Well, and in that way, I mean, as far as animals, I'm just straight ahead on ball pythons. I won't say that's it forever for me, but that's it for me that I'm interested in at the moment. But I love the other business avenues, whether it be this YouTube. See, because the other thing is, I think that YouTube overlaps into my everyday career. I run restaurants for resort properties. Advertising, this is the future of advertising. This is the now of advertising. Hey, Michaela, how are you? Michaela's been an awesome local customer and a cool acquaintance to get to know. She's bought 2 snakes from me. It's been really great to know Michaela. But yeah, like if we could, I mean, we take it for granted because we think snakes are normal and they're cool, but to the normal, to the large swath of the world, if we could sell ball pythons on YouTube, that obscure niche, and be successful at it, I know that that's where I need to be advertising high dollar weddings, high dollar wine dinners, high dollar boat rentals, amazing steak dinner, amazing any dinner, just amazing food that people would come to, and cultivating that audience and that culture and that community. And I've started to really make waves at work where I'm like, we spend $16,000 a year on print advertisement in like a wedding pamphlet with 180 other wedding venues. I'm like, who do you think is going to find us out of this 180 pages?
Out of that cluster, yeah.
And I'm like, do you know what I could do on YouTube for $16,000 a year? Like, and not to mention, Pinterest is the heaven, the nirvana of wedding places. Like, the amount of money that you could promo and get in front of the right people, not to mention all those places have an algorithm working for you. These places only succeed by connecting us that are into these things with each other. If we didn't meet, this show couldn't be possible.
Exactly.
How crazy is it that there's, I mean, even for, let's take your numbers for yourself. Like it's got to be mind blowing that you can have a captive audience of 300 plus people that engage for what? A few minutes here and there. I mean, minutes are, and think about billboards, how much people spend on them. How long can you engage on a billboard? It's 2 seconds.
It's there and gone. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. So I think it's an amazing time to live in, an amazing time to connect with people, an amazing time to be doing business. And I realize I have a ground level foundation to start from. I've worked a long time and have savings, and truth be told, I could walk into a restaurant and go back to full-time work right away if I, so it's easier for me to say than maybe somebody that's 16 looking up at the world, wondering how they're going to get by. But with that being said, I don't know. I don't have a marketing degree. I never went, I wasn't in advertising. I was the operations guy. I was the guy that pulled off the experience, not that sold it. So that to me is what excites me about all of this. And so even if I never make a penny from ball pythons, if I can learn and gain that knowledge in an amazing hobby and turn that into money selling expensive weddings, or any weddings, because none of them are cheap. So that, it's I get excited by all of that. And that's the stuff that I learn. And that's why figuring out lighting or figuring out the purple background, and I geek out when somebody's like, that's a nice background. I'm like, yes, I got it finally, because they looked like crap for a long time. Yeah.
Well, like with you were saying, like with your background, like I do construction. I sit in a skid loader all day, either milling up blacktop or grading up driveways or parking lots.
Okay.
So this, like, marketing and all that stuff is completely out of of what I know. I mean, it's all foreign territory, and I'm just kind of using the Braille method here and, kind of bumping off stuff, trying to find my way.
What becomes amazing is that as long as you got your bread and butter covered, your day job or whatever's going to pay your bills and take care of your family and your beautiful wife, then it's wide open. Yep. Like, I didn't know if, like I said, I did one of those for sale videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it live. I'm going to sell a snake live. I'm going to do it. And Michaela, she's on here. She bought one of them. Mark at 403 Fauna bought one of them.
Nice.
And they were on earlier. Oh man, it's Chuck and Anna. I forget their screen handle. I had some possible hets that I missed on that were all Orange Dreams, and they were like, we'll take them all. Like they just made me an offer to take them all, and I was like,
done.
I think I'm gonna do it, man. So like on the live, I sold 1 or 2, and then within 48 hours, I'd sold 5 snakes from that live. And to your point, whether I'm serving burgers in a restaurant or running a skid loader, I don't know anything about selling snakes. Like I'm just winging stuff. And there it was working. And there's been a ton of things like that. Like I try different lightings. Every now and again, I'll do a video like in a different place in my house because I'm like, oh, I'm going to try something new. There's Laughing Boy 82. That's Chuck that picked up 3 of the Orange Dreams from me. So, those things were, I love the freedom of, put it this way, in a restaurant, there's things I know I can't do, or I think I know I can't do. And I've been working in restaurants 25 years. So I'm the guy that goes, this is how it's done. This is how we're going to do it. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do it this way. But somewhere, there's a 19-year-old kid that's going to go, screw that dude. Here's how I'm going to do it. And he's going to change the industry. There's going to be
and he's going to find his own way that no one ever quite thought of. And
God bless that kid. I hope he does, because that's how we have a live stream that, I hope I could poke a little bit of fun here. When I invited you on the show, you were like, I'd love to do it, but man, I don't think I don't know how. What do I need to get? And I'm like, no, you don't need anything. I'll just send you a link. But that's because some kid somewhere went, no, here's what I got to dream up. Here's how I'm going to figure out how to go do it. And so I'm not one of these guys, I hope, that'll grow old and be pissed at the next generation and all that. I want to see what they got, man. Because every generation has said that the next one are bums, and every next generation kicks all their butts. So like we're all, we all got our problems, of course, but I think it's a cool time. And that to me is what this YouTube world has been. I want to ask you about one more topic, because I was doing a little bit of a deep dive on your channel and looking at some stats, and I should give a screen share one of these times. I'm going to have to prepare it. I use an SEO, a search engine optimization program that's like $3 a month called TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy. And it helps with titles and descriptions so that your videos can trend in YouTube search, which provides long-term ongoing views. Somebody says, how do you breed ball pythons? Hopefully I have enough content that'll start popping up and be on the first page kind of thing. But one of the other things it does, you can look at another channel's stats. So your 30-day running stats, you got like 9,000 views on the last 30 days. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, I got to learn this. Well, he doesn't have the nice backdrop. What's doing? Like, I'm jealous, But I looked, and you've had 2 reels, or not reels. They call them reels on Instagram. You've had 2 shorts that were like, what? You got like a 4,000 and a 7,000 view short.
That first. I'm trying to think which one I did first. I think it was the one that is it might be 7,000 right now, but it was just my pastel yellow belly, and overnight, within a day's time, it hit like 6.6. I'm sitting there at work, like I kept checking, because I was watching that bar climb.
You feel like you hit the lottery, right? You're just like, what the
heck is going on here? And it baffled me, because it's like, if this 15-second or whatever it was short can do this, what doesn't the other videos do?
Right. And it's bad because you have other videos that have, 30, 80, 100 views kind of thing. And my usual views are like, I'm pretty pumped now. If a video gets above 200 views in a week, I'm pretty pumped right now. Like that's a good pace for me. And I've been clicking on a pretty good pace. And I was like, this guy is kicking what is going on, man? And so Any strategy? Is it luck on it? What did you do on the short? And have you identified what you did, or you just like, I don't know, it just happened?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
I struck gold once. Lightning struck, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was the pastel yellow belly, and the other one that you were talking about, it's 3,000 or 4,000 or something.
Right.
That's that Orange Dream Fire Bumblebee.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's.
So, I mean, they were both hatchlings, but I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I don't even remember what I had the title as.
Yeah. I've truly not been able to make heads or tails of shorts, and I've been trying to. So my experience with shorts, and I'm not sure what yours is. My experience with shorts has been, 403 Fauna. Mark is like, okay, now he has my 7,000 views. I'll take a look. And hey, Phil, thank you very much for the kind words, man. You're always very generous to us here. So my experience with shorts has been, I do get views, and I can get views. I've figured out. I use earlier I asked you about what software you use. I use iMovie on my long standard format film. So lives are unedited. My regular format, I use iMovie on the Apple, and on my phone I actually use something called Filmora, Filmor. Okay, I was lost. Oh, now you're lost.
I was saying, you're kind of getting choppy there a little bit.
We're going to keep going here. We'll get Jeremy in.
There we go. Now you're moving again.
Okay. I think there we go. All right, we're back. So I use Filmora, Filmora, and it's a free film editing thing just for your phone. And it's great for shorts. But what I found, and here's a little hack if people are super into shorts, Filmora has templates that instead of you doing the editing, it just tells you got to have 7 clips. Just drop in your 7 clips, and it does this whiz bang, techno fireworks, whoop, 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 sirens, all kinds of stuff. And they're cool. They're neat. The problem I was seeing, and I would get subscribers from them, and then I would post a regular video, and I would lose subscribers. People would jump ship, and I was going crazy. I felt like I was chasing my tail. I was like, man, I got to crank out more of these shorts, and I got to crank out more of my regular videos. And of course, when you're pushing it, your quality goes down because you're rushing it, or you're forcing it, or it's not genuine. And so I stopped using those Filmora templates. They were really cool, but my channel is not the techno version of a Kiss concert on a ball python, which is kind of what those were, and I like techno, and I like Kiss, and I like ball pythons, but those are 3 different worlds. And I like ball python. Yeah. It's so anyway. So shorts, now I'm kind of at a loss. Like I really dig in on when I see other people's success with shorts now, because I don't know. I know less than I did when I first started. When I first started, I thought, this is the hip new thing. This is YouTube's TikTok. TikTok blows up, throw it on there, boom, everything's going to succeed. And now I don't know that. I don't believe that anymore. So anyhow, I'm working on it, and my metrics just swapped from shorts feed being about 35 to 40% of my views, and lives and search. Not lives, traditional videos, browsing, and then search being 30 and 30. And now browsing and shorts are at about 35 to 38 each. And the shorts drop down to like 28. So I'm like, all right, I've got another short made. I'm going to, once this video loses a little steam, probably Thursday or Friday, I'll pop another short up there. But
what I do is I'll do my normal video. I've actually gotten into the habit of dropping that on Sundays now.
Yeah.
And then as long as I have something half interesting going on here, I'll do 1 or 2 shorts throughout the week. Just because it seemed like that was getting me some traffic and some subscribers coming in. I think it hits a wider horizon of people. I think it does. And
your shorts are I don't want to speak for you, but I think your shorts are pretty similar to your longer form content, whereas mine were like, and again, I leave them all up. Everything I've ever posted is still on my channel. So you could go back and see like I say, the crazy techno stuff. But I think that people were like, oh, I really like this one thing. And then they would see my usual video and be like, that's not what I subscribed for. You know what I mean? And vice versa. And the people that would watch this were like, why is this guy shooting fireworks in my face over all Python with blaring? I don't need that. And I think they were going away too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
My shorts are kind of plain, like you said. I mean, really, I think it's like the plus button on my phone when I'm in the YouTube app. I just hit that, and half the time it's, one of the snakes shed. So I'm just showing it off, thinking, hey, what's more beautiful than a freshly shed snake? I mean, the colors are just boom right there. So it's like quick video.
Instagram today. Yeah.
There we go. Lets everybody kind of get a little taste of all the variety going on in the collection.
Yeah. And how do you plan your content? Is it just off the cuff? Is it, what's happening right now? Or like what work do you or don't you put into that?
It's actually a little bit of both. Therefore, like I had I had the clutches being laid and stuff, so that was giving me, that there was based on
easy content. Yeah.
The clutch cuttings, I was based, you knew that stuff was going to come, but it was trying to figure out what I was going to do a video on, like this week or that week in between. It took a lot of thinking, but now I've gotten into this swing, like where I have like this huge list. Actually, there's some of the list that
there you go. Yeah. I was going to say, what's the hack on that? How do you track that? But so you use the handwritten notes just right there.
Yeah. I just handwrite everything. Like I'll come down here. I'll just tell my wife, I say, hey, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down work, do some snake stuff, and then either edit or sit down here and just think up of ideas. And that's where I thought up of the breeding series that I have going on.
Oh, cool.
Now, granted, that's some dependent on, the snakes and what stage they're at.
Yeah.
But I also have other things like going over a homemade incubator, and I'm going to do setting up an egg box type of deal. I have other key points that aren't necessarily relying on the snake schedule, but most of it is like how to palpate a snake. Obviously you have to have decent sized follicles for someone to see your finger, going over each follicle.
It's hard to convey feeling in the video. Yeah. So I got to say hey to Leviathan Snakes, Stephen, Courtney. I hope you all are well. Congratulations. I was just posted today. I don't know if the move-in was just yesterday or just today. They just moved into, I think it's 20 by 12, but they just moved into their whole new snake building, and it looks phenomenal. If you want to check out their Instagram, you'll see the posts, and I'm sure the YouTube videos will be following. They have high quality videos. Probably don't post as often as I do on videos, but they're really well edited. Yeah, very good stuff. You should check out their channel. Stephen, thank you. I'm doing well, and I appreciate y'all making it. You've been a huge supporter, and somebody earlier was asking about the camera, and they're the ones that after seeing their production and what they use for their camera is why I bought the Canon M50. And I got to hang out with them at Daytona. We were excited kids. Picked up at least one, maybe two sunsets at Daytona. I was like, oh, cool. I got a little pastel over here, but that's nice. You got a sunset. That's cool. Yeah, if anybody's looking for it, this is the camera that I shoot on and that they shoot on as well. Canon M50 Mark II, and I've been really pleased with it. And all the videos are with the microphone on it as well. I got a little camera microphone, but I don't run like a separate. Yeah. I don't run a separate channel in editing where I got to do the click track and all of that kind of stuff. So. Well, listen, man, I think what's that?
What does one of those roughly run price wise? Because I have tossed around about getting a camera and upgrading.
I think the retail on it is 650, 700.
That's not bad.
But no, it's not too bad. And I don't want to get preachy to anybody, but if you're claiming stuff on your taxes, if you're getting licenses, if you're buying the right racks, all of those things can go towards expenses to where at least you don't have to pay the full taxes on. So you get the benefit of being an entrepreneur and a business person, which is why I advocate going ahead and starting to do that. Because this stuff's expensive. And honestly, if you make $1, you can write your other stuff off to where, I mean, if you have any revenue. So, I mean, I'm not singling you out, Jeremy, but if anybody sells a snake or multiple snakes, then, all right, take the 650 number in Pennsylvania that I guess maybe is the line. You're going to be above 650. Yeah. And $700 is still real money. Don't get me wrong. Like that was a big, I had to plan accordingly to make sure that was worthwhile. And it wasn't just a toy, another expensive toy I wanted, but I've been very, very pleased with it. I use it. I do use it in some of my other, actually, I definitely use it. I wrote it off I put it on the expense line on both, I split it for the snakes and the music because I film a lot of my promo videos for my live performances as well with that. So the problem with cameras, like a lot of things, you buy the camera, then you want the proper tripod, then you want a live stream and you need a little kit that you got to buy for that. And then, man, you can't have a nice camera, but not have, good lighting to go with it. So suddenly you're buying a light ring and. But I'm under $1,000 on camera stuff.
That's not bad.
It's not too bad. I'll be mad if it's not a 5 to 10 year durability on it though. If it's fragile, it's a problem. And then, to get really nerdy, I wasn't even going to bring it up, but Steven's exactly right. The other problem is you start learning about lenses, and holy crap, lenses are expensive, man. I was watching a YouTube video on one and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I think I would like messing with that. Yeah, it's $400. And I'm like, it doesn't even take its own picture. I'm like, I was like, no, screw that. I'm not. So, but Steven will know what I'm talking about. The 22 millimeter lens is the one. I am going to get that. It has a nice change, but that's like 170. So I'm like wrestling with that, but 170 I could swallow. 400, that's close to guitar. Like if you're into guitar and snake money, I don't know. I don't know. It better be real good if you're getting into that, So
it better do something a little special at least.
That's right. Yeah. Steven goes, that's what we use. Yeah, I know it's what you use. That's why I'm trying to keep up with you, man. My wife is going to send you nasty grams at some point because I'm spending money, man. Yeah, the 22 millimeter lens is phenomenal. You all will see that in the new year. Hopefully Santa, pops one of those in my stocking this year is the plan. So
aren't they having a baby soon?
Yeah, like
I said, they're going to want to keep that baby away from that expensive toy.
Yeah, just wait till you get a kid. You ain't gonna have the money to be dropping on snake buildings and $1,000 cameras. Yeah, man. Hey, Jeremy, this is Jeremy Bod. Meet Jeremy Warfels from WARFEL'S MORPHS. Bod's Exotic Reptiles. Jeremy's a great dude. I met him at Daytona. He was vending this year. Check out Bod's Exotic Reptiles if you all get a chance as well. So, well, guys, we are at 10 minutes short of 2 hours. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, wow.
I promised we'd wrap up before 10 o'clock. And when I first started this show, I had kind of promised myself, not this show tonight, but in general, that I would keep it around an hour. And the audience has grown. The guests have grown. I guess my comfortability and the people that I'm interacting with is really just a super cool thing. I can't tell you how much I'm thankful for everybody. Yeah, Jeremy Bod knows my line. It's time for me to go kiss my wife goodnight before she goes to sleep in 9 minutes. And she's already been in bed for 45 minutes, I could tell you. But it's super cool. Like I see the same people coming back. Jeremy, a bunch of people that I didn't recognize. I think a lot of people from your channel came, and there's still 18 people watching after 2 hours.
Yeah,
and
good.
yeah, and like real, I don't want to use the word legends, but people to me that are big time and have been really great. Bod's Exotic Reptiles, Phil Snyder, he's killer. Kai was on earlier. And then lots of people that have just been great to me, customers, and that have been supportive. And Adam Fritz, he's been here a long time tonight hanging out. So, yeah, man.
That's my brother-in-law.
Oh, nice. And then guys like John that keep coming back. Forget if somebody's a legend or big time or not. You guys, I'm working on my sign off, my catchphrase, but it goes something like, there's a ton of expensive things in the world, but nothing's more valuable than time. And if you all will give me 2 hours of your week, man, I'm grateful. And that's not BS, man. That is serious stuff. So Jeremy, would you do it again? Would you come back sometime, man?
I definitely would. Like I told you before we even got on this, I was ecstatic when you said about, coming on. I think I told everybody I know, is like, you guys aren't going to believe this. I'm actually going to be on a live.
Yeah.
And I was just super stoked at him. It was a great pleasure and an honor. I really mean that.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure from my end. I hope we got you some subscribers. I want you to keep going on your channel. I know you will. There's, like I say, when I first saw your videos, man, there was something that clicked where I was like, man, this guy knows how to work. He's not going to quit. He keeps at it. I don't know you other than the 2 hours we spent tonight, but that was kind of the feeling I got, and it's still the feeling that I have. So to me, that's, how could I go wrong with somebody with those sorts of values and work ethic and all of that? So with that being said, I will say thank you. Thanks to the audience. You're welcome back anytime. Come on back. Everybody in the audience, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed and you've been here 2 hours, for Pete's sake, man, throw some love. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't want to like beg, but serious, man, I'm putting in the work, and guys like Jeremy are doing the same. So thank you all very, very much. You can reach me at Proper Royals on all of the socials. And of course, WARFEL'S MORPHS is on Instagram for sure. Morph Market for sure. YouTube for sure.
YouTube, Facebook. And that's that's it.
All right. So you guys can get to us. Thanks very much, Jeremy. Stick around for just a moment. Everybody else, cheers to you. I will see you all next time. We do it every week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. I don't have anybody lined up next week just yet, so it could be a solo show. Who knows? Tune in. You're going to have to find out. Got to come watch it to see. I will see you all next time. Thanks so much. Good night.
See you, everybody.